Thank you. You're also able to see the slides on the screen.
Yes.
Okay. Thank you, Fawad. Right. We are carrying on with our communication skills workshop. These two sessions will be on group discussions or GDs. My name is Tessa. I'll be facilitating this session for you. I completed my integrated master's degree in English studies from IIT Madras. I'm currently pursuing an MA in comparative literature from English and Foreign Languages University. Right. Without further ado, let's get on with the session. This is our agenda for today's session. We'll be seeing what exactly a GD is, why we need to have a GD, what are the different kinds of group discussion topics, what are the rules or instructions to be followed in a GD, how to lead a GD, and how to participate in a GD. Now, group discussion, as the name indicates, is always something that involves more than one person. So it evidently tests your skills to be able to operate within a group. Okay? So it is not necessary that you contribute to the group by leading them. You can also participate fruitfully in a group. So there are two roles here. Both of these are roles that you need to learn how to handle if you intend to shine in a GD. That is why we have separate sections on how to lead a GD and how to participate in a GD. Now, what is a group discussion after all? Group discussions can be used in different contexts. They can be used for job interviews, and when they are used in job interviews, they test your interpersonal skills. How well do you operate with others? They can also be used, FGDs are focused group discussions. These are used in market or social sciences research. They are employed in order to study how people think, why people make certain decisions as consumers, what motivates them, etc. In case there is somebody seeking admission and you're not granted admission immediately, please don't worry. I will get here, get back to the screen and grant you admission. Okay. Group discussions are used to assess your interpersonal skills. How well do you negotiate with others? Can you work together as a team? If there are conflicts, how do you resolve those conflicts? They also test your listening skills. I'm taking these pauses because I'm trying to let people in. After a while, everyone will be here in the meeting, and then I'll be able to continue without these rather awkward pauses. I'm sorry about that. Okay. Group discussions test your interpersonal skills. They test your listening skills. Most of the time, we do not listen. Either we space out or we simply wait for our chance to speak. Neither of these are very good qualities to have if you are working in a team. Ideally, you should be able to hear your team members and you should be able to take into account the things that they contribute or their opinions, their feelings, things that they would like to see implemented, etc. So it neither works if you are spacing out of the conversation, nor does it work if you are simply waiting for your chance to speak. So the purpose of a group discussion is not to see how eloquent you are. I mean, you might be able to make very good speeches, But that's not the only intention behind a group discussion. It is also to see how good of a listener you are. It also assesses if you are able to communicate your message to someone else crisply and clearly. Okay, there should not be any ambiguity there. It tests your knowledge. Are you knowledgeable in the subject? In the subject that you claim to be your domain? Can you use this knowledge creatively? Can you adapt this knowledge so as to solve real world problems? So as to combat real world challenges? Are you spontaneous without the aid of a book or, let's say, the aid of the guide of Google, for instance? Are you able to think spontaneously, suggest or offer your opinions in a spontaneous manner? Okay. Are you a good value fit in terms of the company's values, the company's work ethic, let's say? Okay. A candidate does not become the ideal candidate simply because that candidate has the required qualifications. When you are trying to gain to be hired into a company, the company will also try to see whether you align with the values that the company proffers, right? So a group discussion is also a chance for your superior or the person who's about to hire you to see whether you make a good fit with the company in terms of your value sets just as much as you make a good fit in terms of your skill sets. Okay, there are different kinds of group discussion topics. Some group discussion topics are general topics. Some of you, I know that you joined a little late, but that is okay. I hope you can follow the discussion that we are having right now. In case you are not able to follow it, stop me, let me know, and then I will do it for you. Likewise, if some presentation, my voice or the slides on the screen, for some reason, perhaps due to connectivity issues, are not properly audible to you or visible to you, please feel free to stop me and then we'll start off from where you last. So, right. It's general topics. For example, these are an important life of Indians and we more. India
Ma'am,
lives at the
your
heart.
voice is fluctuating.
My voice is fluctuating? Okay. Thank you for letting me know. Just give me a second. Is that better now?
Yes, ma'am.
Yes, ma'am.
Okay. Some group discussion topics are general topics. These are the kind of topics that test your general know-how of how things are in the world. Okay? Now these might not be very domain specific. They can be from anywhere and anything, right? Some topics, on the other hand, are argumentative in nature. Argumentative topics are those topics which are debatable. You can take a side and you can argue your case. Just as you take one side, always remember that another person might take another side. A lot of the time in life, what happens is that we take a certain stance, we interact only with those people who take a similar stance, And therefore, we don't really know how to engage with differences. When we need to encounter somebody who, for some reason, is taking a different stance, we become very combative. That is something that we need to avoid in a group discussion. Okay? So, even when you take one side of the topic, remember that another person is at liberty to take an entirely different view on it. Now, the topic is a topic like qualified professionals should look for opportunities in India instead of migrating abroad. A university education is not worth pursuing in India today. You can take either in favor, you can speak either in favor of the topic or you can speak against the topic. Either which way, you should be able to corroborate or substantiate your stance using sufficient examples and arguments. Some topics, likewise, can be abstract in nature. Abstract topics are those topics which do not deal with any concrete issue. If you see me pausing, that's because I'm trying to admit somebody into the meeting. Okay, I'll carry on in a bit. For example, change is the only constant in existence. It's very abstract. It's almost philosophical in nature. So, when you are dealing with an abstract topic, you will have to answer it or you will have to offer your opinion on it by connecting it to something specific. You can't always hover above the ground when you are making an argument. The grass is always greener on the other side. A topic like this does not really define what grass is in this context, what is your side, what is the other side, which means you are at liberty to interpret an abstract concept in your own concrete terms. Okay, but you should be able to clarify how the concept tally with or how they can be connected to the reality in which you are grounding those concepts. Right. There can also be caselets or case study based group discussion topics. For example, you are the area manager of the Indian vertical of a world famous USA based content streaming platform. It has been 3 years since the firm has launched its operations in India. However, there are still not enough adapters in the local market. Upon consultation with your research team, you have concluded that the content provided on the streaming service is not local enough to attract Indian consumers and the cost of the streaming service per month is too high and is not affordable for the average Indian consumer. What should the next course of action for the company be? How would you discuss this with your team members? Now, this is placing you within a specific context. And you are required to imagine yourself in this context and provide your inputs on how the problem specified here can be dealt with or can be resolved. Okay? So, when you are given such a topic, you need to make sure that you make a clear note of what the core issues here are. For example, if you need to address two issues, you need to be clear about what these issues are. People are still joining the meeting. Okay. Right. Now, what can you expect in a group discussion? This is a standard format of a group discussion, so to speak. It can differ, but this is what you can broadly expect from a group discussion. You will have 10 minutes, 8 to 9 members in a group. There will be a panel of judges. Usually it's a 3-member panel, but it can have more members in it. This panel will read out the topic or the case. Okay? Let's say they take 1 minute to read out the topic or the case. You should pay close attention when they are reading out the topic or the case, because the rest of the discussion hinges on that particular topic or the case. There is nothing unimportant in that 1 minute. Just because you are not the person speaking there, you should not space out, zone out. You should be there, present there. Okay? Then there will be somebody who will lead the discussion. And this person is called the leader. He or she will have 1 minute to set the direction of the discussion, or to set or to put the discussion in context. Right. Then there will be 7 minutes for the members to take the discussion forward. That would ideally be something like 1 minute per member, right? 1 minute for the leader will then be given to wrap up or summarize the discussion that just happened. Now, if you are leading the discussion, you will need to speak before your team speaks and once after your team speaks. If, on the other hand, you are participating, then you will need to speak once, right? How do you lead a discussion? 1 second, somebody is seeking admission. Okay, I need to know at this point, since all of you joined at different points, uh, is this clear to you, or do you want me to repeat something? Somebody who joined late should ideally answer, not somebody who was here from the beginning.
Yeah, it's clear. Thank you.
It is clear. Okay. How would you lead a group discussion? Okay. Now you listen carefully. When the panel reads out the topic or the case, you listen very carefully and you take down notes. When should you volunteer to lead a discussion? You should volunteer if and only if you have a meaningful point to say. Now, how do you start? If you are leading a discussion, how do you start? You could start with a polite statement like, "May I start with the permission of the chair or the panel and the group?" Okay, so when you are referring to the chair, you are referring to the panel of judges. And when you are speaking about the group, you are referring to the group of which you are a part. Then you state the topic once again. You state a general opinion. You give your own views on it. This is something that sets the direction for further discussion. So this is not something that you should do if your intention is to merely state your views on the topic. You should be aware of the fact that whatever you say as a leader is going to decide the course of further discussions. So you should be opening up the forum in, so to speak, in a manner that the rest of your team can contribute meaningfully to the discussion. Okay? You shouldn't be presenting very narrow ideological perspectives on a topic, because if you do that, you're doing the opposite of opening up a topic. You're closing it off, right? So you should be taking a stance which opens up the topic for further discussion, which invites more opinions, which invites even conflicting opinions. So you state the topic, you state the general opinion on it, and then you give your own views on it. As a leader, you should take notes throughout. Even if you're participating, you should be able to take notes. You should take notes throughout because you are incorporating others' perspectives into your own answer. Okay? Why should a leader take notes throughout? Because all of these notes together will form the summary of the discussion. In a summary, ideally, you should not add any new points. Now, it is important to remember that you don't have to know everything in order to take part in a group discussion. or in order to lead a group discussion. The skill that you need to have is to facilitate. Now, when I introduced myself as the one who will be making this presentation for you, I introduced myself as the facilitator. This is what it means. It means that I will take you from one perspective to another. If need be, I can offer my views, but wherever required, I invite your own views. I would like to hear from you. So I am somebody who deals with the topic in such a manner that I facilitate varied perspectives on the topic to assemble in the form of a group discussion. Okay, now we are going to look at a few examples. What is an effective opening in a group discussion? Okay, now the topic we consider here is small businesses are an important lifeline of India's cities and need to be supported more. And the leader starts by saying, I would like to take the lead in this discussion with the permission of the chair and that of my group. Okay, and the leader is now referring back to the COVID-19 pandemic. And the condition in which, or rather the way in which small businesses suffered during the pandemic. What was their predicament? Okay. And what small businesses are we referring to here? We're referring to small businesses such as tea and tiffin stalls, tailors, craftsmen, daycare services, and beauty parlors. Remote work is an option that is available only for the middle and upper middle classes. So, how can we ensure that small businesses can be disaster resilient? What is resilient?
Something which can
Resilient
fight
is
against.
yes, something that can fight against, something that can resist something, right? So here you are looking at a scenario where small businesses should be made resilient to disasters and epidemics or pandemics, right? What kind of support systems can we conceive and install so as to make small businesses more resistant, stronger? Okay? If you notice this, the leader is not exactly using statements here. The leader, on the other hand, is using questions here. A question is always something that is posed with the intention of inviting an answer. So when the leader poses a question, it gives the rest of the team members an option or like an opportunity to pitch in with their answers. That's a very good way of opening up a topic for further discussion, right? And then the leader says, I am looking forward to hearing everyone's views on this. Now, I would like for somebody from your group to use the same topic but give me a different opening statement. Lead the discussion in a different manner. Imagine that you are the leader here, okay? And then give me an effective but different opening to the topic. Just like the leader says all of these things, what would you say if you were the leader? That is the question. I want you to take 2 or 3 minutes. Think, try to come up with a certain opening. Imagine that you are going to lead this discussion and then give me the answer. Okay? Is that clear to everybody?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay. Take a few minutes. I will call out names, okay? After 3-4 minutes, I will call out names. Do not leave the meeting. Just because you need to speak, you should not leave the meeting. Even if I call out your name and you feel like you're unwilling to speak, just let me know. That's okay. You don't have to leave the meeting.
Ma'am, we have to speak on the same topic?
Same topic, but different sentences, different opening statements, different way of opening up the topic for further discussion. Yes, somebody had a question. Devansh, was it you? Why did you
Yeah,
lower
I
your
had the
hand?
same
Yes.
question. I
Oh,
had the
same
same
question.
question.
Okay, okay.
Yeah.
Same topic, but phrase it in a different manner. Think of yourself as a leader. How would you open the discussion?
Hello. Hello,
Are
ma'am.
you ready to answer, Prakash?
Yes, ma'am. I have query.
Okay, you have a query. Okay.
Yes, sir. Ma'am, I am not attending all workshop session, old workshop sessions. So please tell about how to attending all old workshop sessions.
This is something that I get every single session, actually. So don't worry. If you can't attend every session, it's okay. In a few days, the video of the session will be uploaded to the YouTube channel for the course. You can access past workshop sessions from the YouTube channel. The link to the
Okay.
YouTube channel, I think, can be found either from your course calendar or most certainly
Yes.
from your course forum.
Yes. Okay. Okay. Because my English spoken English is not good, so I am attending all of sessions.
Okay. Right. Now you've had sufficient time to think and come up with a response. Shall I call out names?
Now, I actually have a question regarding the sessions. So the first
Sure.
session I actually could not attend, but I saw in the email that there will be like in-person quizzes and those will be graded. So was there any
Sorry,
quiz I missed?
there will be what? I
I saw in
wasn't
the
clear.
email that there will be in-person, like quizzes inside the sessions, like something like graded quizzes. It was written in the email. Is it true or is it like just normal seminars?
As far as I am aware, there are no in person quizzes, at least not in the sessions that I have handled. You might get quizzes on the basis of the workshop sessions at a later point. Those will
Yeah.
be graded as well.
Okay, got it. So just watching the recordings on YouTube is fine, right? Yeah, for the
If
ones that I
that is
missed.
what you prefer, yes, that is fine.
Okay, perfect.
Right. Ayush, would you like to start off?
Is it okay if I go like second or third? I'll still.
Yes, it is okay. Shubham, would you like to say something? Are you here? Gayatri, would you like to say something? Gayatri Pupala, I think. Sorry if I'm pronouncing it wrong. Would you like to say something, Gayatri?
Am I audible?
No, you are not audible. Can you try and be a little louder?
Just a second.
Okay.
I'm not getting a good network. Hello.
Yes, you are audible now. Go on.
Uh, so will we be having like any
Don't be
activities or
nervous.
okay, I'm sorry. So will we be having like any actual group discussions among batchmates or it's only like sessions, ma'am?
No, I'm just asking you to use this topic and imagine yourself as the leader of the group discussion
Uh,
and give me an opening, right? We're not going to continue with a full fledged group discussion at this point. I just want to see how you would lead the discussion if you were the leader. Fawad, just a second. Gayatri, I'm going to attend a question from Fawad and then
okay.
we'll resume the conversation. Yes, Fawad?
I'm sorry for the buzzy voice. Can I say about this? What you are asking right now?
Or you want to answer? Is that what you're saying?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay. I asked Gayatri first, so let her try and answer. Or if she feels like she wants to go next, then I'll let you answer. Right?
Okay, ma'am. Thank you.
Okay. Gayatri,
I will go next,
would you
ma'am.
like? You
I
want to
have
go
an
next?
example of how to answer.
Okay, Fawad, go on.
I'm sorry for the buzzy voice because I'm outside my home, so
No,
there
no,
will be
that's
some
fine.
noise.
If you feel comfortable answering, that is fine. Go on.
Okay, ma'am. Ma'am, we can lead the. We can start the discussion like, welcome everyone. Today we are here to address some specific topic, and I am excited to hear you. Yeah, I am excited to hear the insights and ideas, and, and we can say like this.
But what specific topic are you addressing? Shouldn't you say that?
Ma'am, is it related to some business? What we are discussing?
What you see on the screen is the topic. Okay? And I want you to give me a specific opening session. Imagine that you are the leader of this group discussion. Tell me how you would open the discussion to your group. So the leader first needs to make a statement, right? And what does the leader's statement involve? Look at this. You make a topic statement, that is, you state what the topic is. You give the general opinion on it. Okay? You state your views on it, either as questions or as statements. And then you invite opinions from the rest of your team. That's what I want you to do. Just like practicing for a proper group discussion.
Okay, ma'am. Then we have to prepare for this.
Yes, I wanted you to prepare an answer that is tailored to this particular question.
Should I give it a try?
Yeah, if you feel ready, go on.
I'll just quickly fix my mic. One moment.
Okay.
Yes.
Okay.
So, hello everyone. Thanks for attending this discussion. We would like to discuss about small businesses and the impacts of COVID-19 on the small businesses of India today. And we would also like to discuss about remote work and to uh, which uh, which sectors of the society the remote work applies. And we'd like to also get your views on various viewpoints about this topic.
That's not a bad way to open the discussion, but remember that we could start with a polite expression such as, with the permission of the chair and the group, I, I would like to take the lead in this discussion. Right?
Okay, yes.
Oh. Okay. Right. Devansh, you
Like,
wanted to say something?
Yeah, can I go next?
Yes.
Okay. So, good evening, everybody. So, just give me a second. I need to change room. Sorry, somebody's getting an office call in my room. Just give me a second.
Okay.
Yeah, also
Gayatri, would you like to try?
Uh,
Yes, ma'am, sure. After.
Go on.
Can I go on or is someone else?
No.
I can
Gayatri,
go after
go
you,
on.
Gayatri.
Sure, thank you. So, with the permission of the chair, I would like to take the lead on discussing about the the impact of COVID-19 on small businesses. As we can see on the slide, it is already mentioned that remote work only worked for the middle and upper middle class. So we can brainstorm on how to make it more accessible to the weaker economic class.
Yes. Don't be so nervous. It's okay.
Yes, ma'am.
Okay. So that was a very good opening line. That is excellently delivered. But I would like to remind you that when you are in a group discussion, you will not have slides. Okay. Now you have slides. So I understand what you are getting at there. But when you are in a group discussion, you will not actually have slides. Now, this is also
So
something that
So it's
yes,
like more of like a brainstorming session than a presentation, ma'am?
it's not a PowerPoint presentation, right? It is a discussion. So you
Okay.
have a panel and then there is a group. You are the person who's trying to lead the group at this point.
Yes, ma'am.
It's very oral, less visual.
Yes, ma'am.
Okay. Uh, the, the one thing that I want you to notice in using this exercise, which might seem a little chaotic, but I'm all right with that. No matter how much I tell you about how to lead a group discussion, you don't understand how it is to lead a group discussion. This is not an interview, this is a group discussion, Ishan. Okay. So, no matter how much I tell you about how to lead a group discussion, you will not understand how to lead a group discussion unless and until you actually speak, which is why I keep prompting you to speak. Right. Gayatri has delivered her statement. Ayush has done his. Devansh, would you like to go next?
Yeah. Yeah. So, good evening, everybody. Today, I would like to talk about the small businesses and latent unicorn. And I would like permission of the chair to start this discussion and lead it. So, uh, they said, okay, go ahead, please. So, COVID-19 pandemic has hit small businesses really bad, and that includes logistics, manufacturing, supply chain, and dairy. And remote work is mostly for the people working on laptops and computer, and mostly from the IT. And I would like to hear a good discussion on the topic that how we can ensure that small businesses has business continuity plan, what kind of checks and balances are required, and how we can support them to continue and make them more sustainable.
Very good. That was a very well delivered opening statement. It see of all the things that he mentioned, there were several points there on which he did not elaborate. Okay. Now, the reason why
Mhm.
somebody who leads a discussion would not elaborate on something is because it is it is just laid out there as possible things on which the rest of the group can speak, right? There are avenues into which they can pitch their ideas if a leader allows for these several issues to be stated but not elaborated in their opening statement. I hope that is clear. That's a very good demonstration as well. Thank you very much for that, Devansh.
Ma'am, please explain, ma'am, what you have told now, ma'am. on the statement.
Sorry, I didn't understand the question. What do you want me to explain?
Ma'am, regarding which topic we have to state without elaborating, ma'am. That's please repeat once again, ma'am.
Do you see a slide in front of you?
Yes, ma'am.
Do you see a topic stated there? Small businesses are an important lifeline of India's cities and need to be supported more. Do you see that?
Yes, ma'am.
That is the topic. It is the same topic. Okay?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay. Anant, you have a question?
Ma'am, can we speak this group discussion just what is written like on the slide and just add our own points like without much elaboration, just with our own words? Can we speak like that?
See, if you ask me a question like that, how do I answer unless I hear what it is that you actually want to say? I can
Ma'am,
answer
actually, I want.
that. But you give me an opening statement now. Okay? Instead of phrasing it like that, you give me an opening statement, and then I'll tell you what to do and what not to do. Clear?
Ma'am, okay, can I speak?
1 second. I think Fawad might want to speak. That could be why he has raised his hand. Fawad?
Okay,
Ma'am,
I'll speak
actually,
next time.
I don't want to speak. I just want to ask that we have to just give the opening statement, not we have. I mean, we don't have to explain that statement.
A leader's opening statement consists of a few things. What are those things? Look over here. The topic statement, the general opinion on the topic, their own views, and all of these things are delivered in such a manner that it sets the direction for further discussion. Remember?
Yes, ma'am. Thank
This
you.
is what is contained in a leader's opening statement. Right. I should. Dhruv. What is it, Dhruv?
No, I want to ask a question that why we are separating persons as a leader or such a task we are assigning. But in a discussion, we should not assign a task to a person. Just do discussion on the topic. That will be more good for the discussion point of view.
Are you saying that you do not like the hierarchy that is imposed by a leader?
No, I mean that while doing a discussion, it is not necessary that we assign tasks to each person. We just start discussion and
See, the
everyone
leader
do.
is not trying to allot tasks. The leader is simply making an opening statement. Okay? And that is opening up the discussion to the team. The only thing that distinguishes a leader from the rest of the team is the fact that he or she will also have to summarize the discussion at the end. Now, if you are put in a kind of group discussion where somebody explicitly tells you that we do not expect anybody to take the lead in this discussion, then yes, you can omit the role of the leader. In that case, everybody would have to make sure that the entire discussion stays coherent, stays inclusive, without the intervention of somebody who is acting in the position of a leader. Can that work? Yes. Can you be put in a group discussion environment where they specifically state that we do not want a leader? Possible. But unless you are put in that position, it is better to structure a discussion around the roles of that of leader and participators. Yes, participants.
Okay, ma'am.
So many questions. Devansh raised his hand first, I think.
Yeah. So, ma'am, basically, you're trying to say a leader is more like a moderator. If somebody is trying to deviate from the topic, they pull them back and try to stick to the agenda.
Leader is not really a moderator. A leader is a facilitator. That is true. A leader does not really play the role of a class leader. Okay, you are
Okay.
supposed to regulate your own opinions in a group discussion, right?
Okay.
Saeed Mohammed Badr, please go on. Can you speak?
Yes, ma'am.
Saeed?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay,
I would like to present.
right.
ma'am.
Can you wait a second if you're going to present? I just want to see if Hemant has a question. Hemant, do you have a question?
Yes, ma'am. Regarding presentation, ma'am, I want
Yes.
to speak. May
You
I?
want to speak?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay, then we'll
Yeah.
come to you after Saeed is done with his presentation.
Okay, ma'am. Okay, ma'am.
I
Saeed,
also want to speak, not the present actually.
sorry, you also want to?
Speak on the topic group discussion.
Okay, so you don't want to lead, you just want to speak on the topic. Is
No,
that
I
what you
can lead
said?
also. I can lead also.
So take a role. Take a role. Which
Okay.
one do you want? Would you like to lead now or would you like to contribute to the discussion?
I will go with the lead.
Okay, lead then.
Okay. Small businesses are backbone of Indian economy and need to be
How
supported
do you
more.
start, Saeed?
I am starting with the sentence uh,
I would
about the
like to
topic.
take the lead in this discussion with the permission of.
Okay, okay.
Okay.
With the permission of the chair, I would like to take the lead in the discussion.
Hmm.
Uh, Small businesses are backbone of Indian economy and need to be
Are
supported
the
more.
backbone.
Yes. Okay.
Go on.
COVID-19
Don't let
pandemic
me
has
stop you.
affected. Okay. COVID-19 pandemic has affected small businesses and self-employed labor the most. Big businesses have all the resources to sustain this type of pandemic, but what about small businesses? How we can support them? I'm looking forward to hear everyone's views on this.
That was a very good opening statement. Mind small mistakes, such as those with articles A and the. A
Okay, ma'am.
small businesses is incorrect. A small business or small businesses without A.
Okay.
Not everyone opinion. Everyone's opinions.
Mhm.
Remember? So these are little things, but these are things that we can correct only if we speak. Now, when I offer you corrections, it is never intended to show you in a bad light. I
No.
just want you to see these are the
Thank
small
you so much.
mistakes.
Thank you so much, ma'am.
Okay, make sure to pay attention to these things. Okay.
Sure, ma'am.
Okay. Thank you very much for that opening statement, Said. Now we go to Hemant. Somebody else, I had told somebody to give me an opening statement. I forgot the name of the person. Who is it?
Ma'am Sayyad Badar.
No. I had somebody had asked me a question, and then I told them to not ask me an abstract question and instead give me a statement. Who was it? Where is that person? Ekam Jodh, just a second. Anant, I think. Anant had asked me a question.
Yes,
We'll
ma'am, I
see.
ask you the question.
Somebody wanted to make a presentation. After Saeed, it was supposed to be Hemant, right?
Yes, ma'am.
Hemant, go on.
Good evening, everybody. With the permission of the chair and the group, I would like to take lead in the discussion regarding the impact of pandemic like COVID-19. We all know this COVID-19 pandemic has impacted many small businesses like tea and tiffin stalls, tailors, craftsmen, and daycare services and beauty parlor and so on. So we have gathered here today to discuss uh, about the impact of this COVID-19 and also to discuss about the future readiness for this type of pandemics so that the small businesses can be a digester resilience. So I am seeking from all of you regarding how to uh, how to encourage the small businesses and also a sustainable society. And thanks a lot. Thank you.
Thank you very much, Hemant. Likewise, pay attention to the little mistakes that you make. Okay, so you need to, I find it very difficult to offer live feedback, because sometimes I notice the errors, I can't recollect exactly what the error was because we move on to further sentences. I would like for you to pay attention to small grammatical errors that you make while you speak. And how do you fix that? You fix that by speaking continuously. Now I am asking you to speak. Even when I'm not asking you to speak, try undertaking such activities, even just by yourself. And over time, you will become much more confident in delivering any sort of opinion by way of conversation. Right. Anand, just 1 second. I want to see what Ekamjot wants to ask. Ekamjot,
So, ma'am, I wanted to ask if someone is leading the discussion, then while opening, do they focus more on the topic and then state their own opinion, or they just give the general statement and give their opinions during the main discussion?
can you ask that question once again? You're asking me if the leader also has to speak during the main discussion, right?
Ma'am, I'm saying when should the leader be giving his or her own opinion?
That
Like
also
during the
happens
opening?
during the leader's statement. It does not happen separately. Because if you looked at this slide, let me show that to you once again. See, look here. 1 minute for the leader to set the direction or context. Then 7 minutes for the rest of the members. That is 1 minute for each member, right? 7 minutes for the rest of the members to take the discussion forward. And 1 minute for the leader to wrap up or summarize.
So basically,
clear?
when the other members are discussing, the leader should not be interrupting there.
No, the leader will not be
Okay.
interrupting them.
Yes,
The leader
understood.
will be taking notes though, because the leader will have to summarize at the end.
Thank you, ma'am.
A leader who interrupts is a very bad leader, by the way. I'm glad you asked that question, because I would not want you to be leaders who interrupt people. Yes, Anand, it's your turn now.
Okay, ma'am, can you hear me properly?
Yes.
Okay. Good evening, officials. Am I audible loud and clear to everyone present here? So, yes. So I would like to lead this talk, if it's all right with the chair. We should encourage small businesses because they are vital to our country. The COVID-19 pandemic was devastating, especially for small scale enterprises like tailors, mechanics, handicraft, and some small sellers on the roadside. We also know the persons with the middle class and higher income can choose to work from home. But it's common that it's not for everyone though. Is there any way to protect and shield small companies against pandemic and disasters? What kind of aid and supports and support controls we can expect? I'm open to hearing what everyone has to say. You all are welcome to speak, so please, officials.
Thank you very much, Anand. That was also a very well delivered opening statement. Right. Fawad, you have a question?
No, ma'am.
You don't have a question. Okay, right. I'm very glad that all of you pitched in and that at least some of you tried to speak, because this is essentially a conversational skill to learn. I can't, yes.
Ma'am,
Fawad, your voice, it's getting broken up. I can't understand you. That is why I'm not able to respond to you. Can you type in the chat box? Somebody else had typed something. What are the basis on which we are judged in an interview? Like if they ask us to do a GD in an interview. This is how you do a GD in an interview. So how you will be judged? So are you asking me what are the essential points that you need to have in order to ensure that you are judged favorably? I cannot give you something like that, like a set mechanism which will ensure you high scores in a group discussion. No, I can only give you pointers as to how to deliver this, how to deliver your opinion in an effective manner. Ultimately, the uh, content of your contribution is something that you decide by yourself, right? It should be meaningful. It should add value to the discussion. It should be able to respect conflicting opinions uh, that are put forth by other members of the group. It should also show that you are willing to work together as a group despite your differences. Okay? So these are all the broad pointers that I can offer you. You can also build on someone else's opinion. Like for example, if you're speaking third, if you want to add on to somebody's opinion, feel free to do that. These are all ways in which you can talk. I can't tell you what to say. I can only tell you how to say. I hope that is clear. Right. We only have 3 minutes left. I will conclude today's session with this. Now, there's only one thing that I want out of you. We have the second half of this session day after tomorrow, Thursday, same time, right? If you could please show up for that session, then there would be a sense of continuity. Now, I anticipate at least some of the students who did not show up for the session will be there as well, and that is fine. But for the sake of continuity, it would be great if those who were here in today's session could also be there in Thursday's session. Okay, thank you, everybody. Uh, Thank you for contributing to the discussion. We will carry on in
Thank you, ma'am.
Thursday's
Thank you,
session.
ma'am.
I hope the session was
Thank you.
fruitful for you. Wish you all a pleasant evening ahead.
Thank you, ma'am. Same to you.
Thank you, ma'am.
Is there any specific topic that will be discussed in next class? In next class, we will carry on from where we have stopped. Okay? So we will consider a great deal more of examples. We will try to look at how it is that we should speak. This is a conversational skill, and we will try to develop that skill. We will continue from exactly where we have left off in today's session. Please feel free to leave the session. I'm just answering the question. Thank you, everybody.
Hello, 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 brother, hello.